Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Caudill. I hope you're well. I'm doing well. Um, as part of our further study on mitosis, which is controlled cell division, we need to talk about what happens when cell division is uncontrolled. Often this occurs later in life with people when they have DNA damage, and the DNA damage causes a protein not to be constructed correctly that regulates what we call the cell cycle, which is just um, the I guess process by where a cell gets a message and then the cell 24 hours later is basically divided into two new cells. If we can't control that, then what happens is often we get uncontrolled cell division, and that's bad. It's really bad not to be able to control this because this is where tumors occur. And all tumors are masses of cells that are uncontrollably dividing. Now, tumors can be benign or malignant. Obviously, you know from Spanish that malignant is going to, with the prefix mal, is going to be bad. Um, your risk of getting cancer is pretty high in your lifetime as a resident of North America. For women, it's 1 in 3, and for men, it's 1 in 2. But the good news for people of Colorado is that we're fairly active compared to a lot of the rest of the nation, and we tend to have less cancer rates, generally speaking. But we do have the highest rate of cancer for one type of cancer, and that is skin cancer. Make sure that you please use sunblock whenever you're outside. I understand if you're playing a lacrosse game, you can't wear sunglasses or you can't wear a hat. I get it. But if you're just hanging out with your friends or you're at Nottingham Park or wherever you are, put a hat on, put sunglasses on. We also have the highest rate of eye degenerative diseases caused by UV radiation of the sun because Coloradans are so often outside so much. I would also tell you that it's tough as a student to have good habits and be stress free and eat really well and I don't know, get a bunch of sleep and do all these things that we know are healthy for us. But try to do it the best you can. And the hope is over the next 10, 15 years, when you kind of figure out your path in life and where you might live or what your family might look like or any of those major life decisions, that you can start to reestablish good habits that you might have had when you were 4 or 5 years old, and then I don't know, live a nice, healthy lifestyle. Do the best you can. I think the most important thing that anyone can do is, like I said, wear sunblock and watch what you put in your body. The good news is that when I was in graduate school, we thought that it was about 50% your genes or DNA that you got from your parents through inheritance and your environmental influences on your probability of getting a disease. And now we know it's like 95% dictated by your environment, which means the choices you make, the things you do, the situations you put yourself in. So I would say the easiest thing to do would be to eat well. Eat as high quality as you can. Stay away from super sugary drinks every day. Chug a bunch of water. It's easier said than done, I get it, but just do the best that you can. Well, here's a picture of a cell that is dividing. And again, this is a healthy process for repair and growth in our bodies. But when this process goes out of control, that might be where we have trouble. There is an assignment here that I want you to do. It's in our bird book, and I'll put these pages on the Schoology website. And you can see here it says uncontrolled mitosis. I just want you to read 3 pages and then answer question 2B at the end. Remember this quote from Hippocrates: let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. It's the number one thing that you can do. Eat well, eat better, make better choices in the supermarket. I see people's carts in the supermarket, and I'm not perfect. And I'm not claiming that I'm perfect, but if you have stuff that is colorful and in boxes and has plastic over the top of it versus tons and tons of maybe stuff that has very few ingredients, like broccoli has one ingredient. But I eat frozen pizza or cereal or candy or whatever. If you look at the side and you have like more than 4 or 5 ingredients, if you have 30 ingredients and you can't identify or even articulate verbally what you're putting in your body, it's probably not good for you. Now, it's fine if you do it every so often, but if you find that your cart is just filled with stuff that that looks manufactured and processed versus stuff that's more natural, if you do that week after week after week forever, you're going to run into a lot of health trouble. Now, again, you're at your parents' place. You can't really do much about it, but you do have the power to begin to make your own choices as you get older, and especially when you shop for yourself. I would say the rule of thumb is four or less ingredients on the side of the label. Try to put as many of those things as your cart as possible. Also, shop the perimeter of the store. Think about what's on the perimeter: the meat, the dairy, the produce. That's stuff that's simpler. If you start shopping those aisles in the middle of the store and filling up your cart from the middle aisles, all that stuff is super processed. I'm going to show you a couple movies on uncontrolled mitosis or cancer. Okay, here's the last thing. We are going to start this process called meiosis next. And what meiosis is similar to mitosis, but it is about the creation of gametes, which are the cells in our body that have game. Think about your game: eggs or sperm. I'm just kidding. So some kid told me that last year. Gametes got game. But the point is these are cells that are reproductive cells, and they're different than normal cells, most primarily because they have half the chromosomal number. And we're going to talk about in meiosis how they're created. And so I'd like you to read in the textbook, pages 323 through 327, and learn about meiosis. And then there's a thing called analyzing data on the bottom of page 327. Make sure that you do that on the same page that you answered the uncontrolled mitosis or cancer question on, and verbally explain page 326 to your neighbor. And that'll be it for the homework that you need to do. Thanks for your attention. And remember, you have a lot of power inside of you to make great choices every day. Smile at people as you walk by. Be of value to your friends and friendships and our community. You have tons of choices that you can make. Don't be a victim. Be a victor, and go forth and be awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.